Welcome, friend, in the lecture series of fluid mechanics. In chapter 1, introduction, we have discussed about definition of fluid mechanics, branches under the fluid mechanics, and application areas of the fluid mechanics. Today, we will see the characteristic of the fluid and basic properties of the liquid. So, let's start the lecture. Characteristic of the fluid. So it has no definite shape of its own, but conforms the shape of the containing vessel. Unlike the solids, it doesn't have a higher cohesive force between intermolecular cohesive force. So it does not have any specific shape, and it may change a little bit in its volume under the change of temperature as well as pressure. Whereas if we think about the gaseous condition, it does not have any specific volume, and it will undergo a rapid changes of its volume, and it is considered to be a compressible. Even a small amount of shear force exerted on the liquid or fluid will cause it to undergo a deformation, which continues as long as the force continues to be applied. If we apply a shear force or a tensile or compressive force on a solid, it does not change its shape up to some limit. But liquid as well as gas, say fluid, will drastically change its shape, say deformed under the action of force, and it will continue deformation until until the applied force. So the fluid mechanics or the fluid may be classified as follows: say liquid, gaseous, and vapor form. Let's see the difference between these three. Liquid is a fluid which possesses a definite volume, which vary only slightly with the temperature and pressure, whereas the gas possesses no definite volume and it is compressible. Liquid is considered as a incompressible and gaseous is considered as a compressible. Here is vapor is also considered as a fluid. It is a gas whose temperature and pressure are such that it is very near to the liquid state, say steam. So vapor has a very much important in the application of the power generation or in the power generation industry, particularly in the steam power plant. So these are the three fluid. In this chapter, we will focus mainly on the liquid and as well as gas. And let's start with the characteristic of the liquid. So first property of the liquid is mass density, denoted as a rho. Density is known as density of the liquid may be defined as the mass per unit volume, and its unit is kilogram per meter cube. So it indicates the capacity of the fluid in terms of kg per unit volume. Mass density basically an indication of its capacity to consume the capacity to conserve the mass per unit volume. If we think practically, then if you mix two immiscible fluid, then with different densities, then the fluid which has a very low density, it will float on over the another fluid. So this is the importance of density. If I will give you the example, real life example, then when you mix hair oil or the edible oil with the water, then oil is always float on the surface of the water. Sometimes milk and oil also mixed with each other, then oil is always float on the surface of the milk or water. So it will indicates the difference between the densities. Oil has a low density in comparison with milk as well as water, so it will always float. And if we compare it with the solid fluid, then if we throw the wooden block on the into the water, then wooden block is always float. And if we throw a metal block, it will not float on the surface of water. There is another part, say force of buoyancy will play an important role, but here the density is important important to understand how it will work, and it differs or play a role during the understanding of the liquid. Now let's see another property, which is the weight density. Weight density, it defined as the weight per unit volume at the standard temperature and pressure, and it is denoted by a small w. So here you can say W equal to weight of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. Now, according to the definition of the weight, it is the mass of the fluid into acceleration due to gravity, say G. So M into G divided by volume of the fluid. So the equation becomes mass of the fluid into G divided by volume of the fluid. And here you can see mass of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. As per this condition, as per the definition of density, it is the rho. So the W equal to rho into G. So this equation ultimately becomes rho into G equal to weight of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. Now this definition is very much important in the fluid mechanics, because always this definition is used, or this property is used to calculate the weight of the fluid or weight of the gases whenever it is required. So this is the most important exam point of view, as well as for the study point of view. Again, I repeat, the definition we will use like this: say rho G equal to weight of the fluid divided by volume of the fluid. And for the calculation purpose of the weight of the fluid, we will use weight equal to rho G into volume. Say density of the fluid multiplied by G, gravitational acceleration, and volume of the fluid. So by this way, we can calculate the weight of any given fluid, given the condition that density and volume. So this is the weight density. Now let's see another property, say specific gravity. Specific gravity is the ratio of the specific weight of the liquid to the specific weight of the standard fluid. It is also defined as the ratio of mass density of the liquid to the mass density of the standard fluid. If we talk about the liquid, then the standard fluid is water, and if we talk about the gas, then the standard fluid is air. And the specific gravity of any fluid is always a relative property, say relative to the standard fluid. If we think about any liquid, then specific gravity is a relative property to the standard fluid, say water. And the density of the water is considered as a 1000 kg per meter cube, and density of air is considered as a 1 kg per meter cube, which is at standard temperature and pressure condition. So for this subject, always whenever it is required, we will assume the density of the water as a 1000 kg per meter cube and density of air as a 1 kg per meter cube under the standard condition. And the specific gravity is denoted by S always. Now let's see another property, say viscosity. Viscosity is one of the most important property. Viscosity may be defined as the property of the fluid which determines its resistance to the shearing stress. So during the discussion of the characteristics, we have seen gaseous and liquid phase. Say fluids are always under deformed phase when under the applied force. So when we apply the force, fluid starts to deform. So this is the viscosity is the property which does not allow the fluid to deform. So this is the ultimately we can say it is the measurement of the resistance to the deformation. It is measure of the internal fluid friction which causes the resistance to the flow. It is primarily due to the cohesion in liquid and molecular momentum exchange in the gases between the fluid layers. And as the flow occurs, this effect appears as a shearing stresses between the moving layer of the fluid. Now, if we think practically, when you pour any fluid, let's take a 1 glass of water and 1 glass of oil. When you pour this both glass of water on the floor, then practically you can see water can spread in the much wide area than the oil. So what is the difference, or what make it difference? So oil has a very high resistive force, say high viscosity in comparison to the water. water have a low viscosity, so it have a low resistance to deform and it will spread over the floor. But oil has a high viscosity and it has a very high resistance to the flow. Say how now we think about how this will spread. So let's consider a wooden block and a glass of water. When we apply the force on the wooden block, the whole wooden block will move. So the relative distance between the molecule will remain same. Whereas in the glass of water, if we apply the force on any side, the molecule will move. So now we think about the transformation of the fluid or transportation of the fluid. So how it occurs? When we throw a fluid on any surface, then the fluid will flow layer by layer. The very bottom layer, which is in contact with the solid surface, have a velocity 0, or it is a stay in static condition. And the very next layer to this layer, very next layer to the bottom layer, have a slightly higher velocity. So this two layer has a has a friction in between, and the friction between these two is called as a shear force, and because of this shear force, the shear stress is generated. So viscosity plays a vital role in the transformation of the fluid, and ideal fluid has no viscosity. This is the one of most important aspect of the fluid. So viscosity, here in figure you can see we have seen this as a surface, a fixed surface, and this is the graph which shows the distance y in comparison with the u. So here consider two different layer which have a bottom layer have a y distance from the bottom, and this two layer have a distance between is dy, and the velocity of the bottom layer has u, and the just adjacent top layer has a u plus du. Say du is the difference of velocity. Here we can say higher velocity, just because the layer in contact with this fixed surface has a velocity equal to 0, and as the y will increase, the velocity will also increase. So this has a y distance and this has a y plus dy distance. So the bottom layer has a velocity u and the top layer has a velocity u plus du. So the velocity difference is du here, and the difference of distance is dy. So here du by dy, it is the velocity gradient, and the shear stress between these two layers, say we call it as a tau. Tau is directly proportional to this velocity gradient du by dy. If we remove this proportionality sign, then we have to put any one constant, and this constant is nothing but the mu, say viscosity or dynamic viscosity. So the equation will become tau equal to mu into du by dy. Now what is the tau? Tau is the shear stress between these two layers. Which layer? Those layer have a velocity difference du, and the distance, perpendicular distance difference is dy. Now if you think about the two layer, one layer which is just in contact with the fixed surface, and another layer is the top layer, then the difference between these two is y plus dy. So this equation become tau equal to mu into let's say velocity is u plus du. So tau equal to mu into du plus u divided by dy plus y. So this du and dy is nothing but the difference between the velocity and the difference between the distance about which you are thinking, or about which these two difference level. So mu is the constant of proportionality, and it is known as a coefficient of dynamic viscosity, or simply a viscosity. Now let's derive the unit of this dynamic viscosity. So make capital U, then U equal to tau divided by du by dy. Du is the velocity, say meter per second. Dy is the distance, say simply meter, and tau is equal to Newton per meter square. So SI unit will become Newton into second per meter square, and MKS unit will become kgf, kilojoule force into second per meter square, and CGS unit is Dyne into second per cm square, which is also known as a poise. And the relation between Newton into second per meter square and poise is equal to 1 Newton into meter per second square equal to 10 poise. So this is the relation between SI and CGS unit of the dynamic viscosity. So that is all for today. In next series or in next video, we will discuss more about the viscosity, and we will see further relative properties of the liquid.